Howdy, Mike McCoy here. Up here at the house today, ain't doing nothing. Been sort of light on my videos, but I've been busy. I done one for last night, and I worked on that thing and edited it and got it ready to go. And it is a whole lot about Mother, and I let Mother look at it. She said, "Don't you put that on YouTube." I said, "Are you sure?" She said, "I'm positive. You better not put that on there." So I didn't put it on there. I thought it was a good video. I figured it was worth at least an Academy Award, but she didn't like it, so I didn't do it. And a lot of people don't like any personal stuff put on YouTube. Mother's like that. She's a very private person. But anyway, I make guessing today. Had a real good turnout on that video I made about shady loggers, and I figure it's just fair to talk about good loggers now. For there is some awful good loggers out there. Tommy Boyd, I done a video on him. I've had him in a couple of my videos. Tommy's as straight as they come. He has helped me more times than I can count. If I needed logs and didn't have money to pay him, there's no problem at all. If he needed anything I got, he'd be more than welcome to it as far as I'm concerned. He is just that good a guy. He has been over backwards to be good for me. And he has done a lot for me. I just can't say enough good stuff about him. He's got a good name, he's a good logger, and he's a good guy. So, all loggers is definitely not shady. And back in 1989, I cut this hand. I cut it all the way down to right there, I think, with a chainsaw. And me and Mother is just in dire straits. We didn't have no money. We just bought this place. We was in foul shape, to say the best. And the job I was on, matter of fact, it's property I own now. I didn't own it then. And there was a log buyer named Mike Netherton. And I called him and I said, "Mike," I said, "I've about cut my hand off. And I've got some pretty decent white oak over there, but I can't get it out." I said, "I just ain't able to saw it down, and Mother can't run a chainsaw to cut timber. She can't cut timber." I said, "She can trim, but she can't cut down." I said, if you could possibly come over here and just knock them down for us, we could pull them out and I'll sell them to you." He said, "I'll meet you in the morning." He come over the next morning. He brought his saw even. He didn't even use my saw. And we logged for 2 days. He was right there beside us, helping trim, cutting down, hooking. I mean, he was right there. And we pulled them logs out and he bought them. And I honestly don't think the boy made a penny off of them. For I've never got paid that good for white oak. It humbled me for him to do that. He didn't have to do that. He could have paid me half price on them logs, being he helped cut them, and I couldn't open my mouth. But he sure did that. And that was at a time it really, really meant a lot to me. And later on, Mike done really well. He done awful well, and then poor guy, he got brain cancer and died, passed away. I don't think he was but like 40, 45 when he died. But now he sure done me a favor. And you know, you never forget stuff like that. I hadn't done, after we got our mill up and going, I didn't sell no logs, and I hadn't had no dealings with him in years. And somebody told me that he was sick, in pretty bad shape, and I called him. And he's like, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to cheer you up a little bit, you know. You're just a little puny." And he said, "Oh, there ain't much wrong with me," or something like that. And I said, "Well, I just wanted you to know that I really appreciate what you done for me." And I'm glad I got to tell him that, you know. For there is bad people out there. I've dealt with them. I'm sure you have too if you're in business. But there is some really good people out there. Just like one of Logger Wade's videos here the other morning. Stevie having to go fill his truck up. Logger Wade didn't give him money, he just read him his billfold. How many people would you just reach your billfold to like that? That speaks volumes to me right there. There's very few people I just hand my billfold over to. So, guarantee you Stevie's a good logger and a good feller to go with it. And Logger Wade is too. But, you know, there's a lot of them out there. Skidder Kell. Guarantee you Skidder Kell's straight as arrow. Just a super good somebody. Pa. Stump Jumper. Just straight as they come. Nuts. Nuts is out there just fighting it as hard as he can, desperately wanting to be a logger, you know. You've got to have that fire in your belly to do what Nuts does, and I've got a lot of respect for him for that. So these loggers, it's good, needs tip of the hat, you know, because there's more good ones than there are bad ones. You just remember the bad ones. And in the logging community, there's very few bad ones, but you know, you remember. There was a guy that I used to sell timber to, sell logs to. He had a sawmill out in Canton, and his grandpa started it, and his mother took it over, and she got run over by a truck and killed. And he was a freshman in college, and he come out of college and took that sawmill over. And there was some people logging for him, and I mean, a lot of people would have tucked tail and run, you know, boy, right? I doubt the man is over 20 years old, you know, take a chance on him. But they laid with him, and up until he retired, they had a job there. You'd see their trucks on the road with logs on them, and you'd see nobody else's, you know. So they are good loggers out there. They is some exceptionally good loggers. And I didn't want to put that video out called Shady Loggers and cast a dark light on all loggers. For that wasn't my intent. Because for every shady logger, there's 100 bright loggers out there that will give you a day's work and be glad to do it, you know. So I've had some good loggers work for me. I've had some real good loggers. But I just thought I'd put this out there, and, you know, so you'd know. And I got me some glasses. I've got a cataracts in my right eye. I mean, it just gets better and better. But it ain't hardly bad enough to operate on. And all this stuff I'm going through right now, I told the eye doctor, I said, if we can correct the glasses, let's do that. And then I get all this other stuff behind me. We'll deal with the cataracts if I'm able. And she agreed with me. Found a great little, she's a woman, young eye doctor, and I was really impressed with her. She done good. So now I'm 4 eyes. And they've got bifocals in them. I run over everything in the house. I don't know if you can see that or not. I bang my arm, I'm going down the hall and just run out of the road. I've about got used to them now, for I've been wearing them, well, a week, a little over a week. Or no, a little less than a week. But got me some glasses. I can see now anyway. But boy, that depth perception went down there and saw. And I cut, I mean, a thick slab right at the get-go. Mother said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "It's these glasses." She said, "Get them things off before you kill us all." And I said, "I believe I can get used to them." And I started. But, you know, after you saw it as many years as I have, you can look at that log and you'll know where it is in relation to the saw. Well, through these glasses, they're about 1 inch, maybe 2 off. Somehow or another, I don't understand it, but I've gotten down to where I can sort of make it do what I want it to do. But and while I was running that knuckle boom down, I reached down there to grab a log, and I completely missed it, you know. And this ain't my first rodeo glasses. I bought a pair 10 years ago, I guess. And I had old Timberjack Skidder, and I just going down through the woods with a trip of logs behind me, and looked down and just coming a little bit of falling out of that thing. And I got to where I wasn't hardly wear them. I carried them in my front pocket, and we jumped on the motorcycle and took a little ride. They're somewhere between here and Madison County. I don't know where they went. Mother said, I got you one, said I ain't getting you no more. So it took me about, I guess, 10, 15 years to get back on her good side. But yeah, got these glasses. I can see now. And everything's good so far. So y'all be careful. And thank you again to my new subscribers. My channel is growing. This tickled me to death. I'd like to see it keep growing. And so far it is. And a lot of people really likes what I put out. And I really like you liking what I put out. And I'll try to get some more sewing videos next week. I know we're going to get some Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, I've got to go get a CT scan. So I doubt we'll work that day. But, and I got a few things I got to do medical-wise, but hopefully I'll get it all done before the bunion, for I sure hope I get to go to the bunion. And I ain't going to count that out yet. But, you know, I've got to do what these doctors say, whether if it costs me going to the bunion, it just costs me going to the bunion. But hopefully I don't. If I get to go up there, I get to meet a bunch of you folks, and that just tickles me to death. So I'll get off from here. And again, thank you, my new subscribers, my old subscribers, everybody that's put up with me. Thank you. Talk at you later.